I'm Liv, your emotionally exhausted, chronically online host, and every week we talk about life, relationships, internet chaos, bad decisions, awkward moments, and all the things that spiral way faster than they should. Welcome to This Escalated Quickly.
By the power vested in my patience and poor impulse control, I hereby present the terms and conditions of our situationship, effective immediately, non-refundable, and legally binding only emotionally. Okay, quick promise. Today I will read actual clauses I wrote, explain why each one exists, confess the single garbage move that made me draft the whole thing, and offer the kind of hot takes you only get in a deeply overshared group chat at 1:37 a.m. No names, no receipts with faces, just receipts with feelings. Backstory. This mess started like every modern romantic tragedy. A swipe, a laugh, a follow on every platform moment that felt casual and intoxicating all at once. We had plans that were fluid, texts that were enthusiastic on weekends and cryptic midweek, and the kind of mixed signals that could be packaged and sold as artisanal heartbreak. Then came the breadcrumb. One single, late night, I miss you sometimes, text at 2:11 a.m. with no follow-up for 2 weeks. That tiny breadcrumb was the emotional equivalent of stepping on a Lego. I decided if I couldn't get clarity from him, I'd get clarity from Clause 14.2.1. Clause reading, Part 1. Clause 1. No midnight breadcrumbing. Any affection initiated between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. shall be treated as a temporary glitch in judgment and not a promise of ongoing emotional investment. Translation. If you only remember me between TikTok scrolls and sleep, that's not a foundation. Also, you can't cite loneliness as a relationship status. Clause 2. Mutual RSVP for feelings. Both parties must RSVP to feelings within 7 calendar days. Ignoring an RSVP will result in a compulsory therapy session for ghosts. Why did I add this? Because ghosting someone's feelings while expecting emotional catering is wild and also exhausting. I am not an appetizer station. Clause 3. No public relationship math. Any attempt to quantify the relationship on social media, for example, we're trending but not official, is invalid and subject to immediate deletion and a 10-minute cringe audit. I put this in because if your love life is a spreadsheet, we need a reset button. Also, please stop posting blurry photos of us for algorithm reasons. Funny confession time. The clause I needed most was Clause 7, Emotional Labor Refund Policy. It reads, emotional labor provided will be cataloged and eligible for a refund if, within 30 days of demonstration, the receiving party fails to reciprocate with the minimal human courtesy of acknowledgement. Confession. I tracked late-night vent sessions in a notes app like an accountant. I even had categories: crisis counseling, mild sympathy, and please text back. There was a spreadsheet. I know, don't at me. Clause reading, Part 2, Clause 9, definition of situationship end. A situationship is considered ended when one party either A. stops responding for longer than 3 consecutive days without reasonable cause, B. begins sending exclusively one-word messages, or C. adds a new dob that receives more photos than the other party. This is both practical and extremely petty. You would be surprised how often pets win arguments. Clause 11, refund policy for emotional labor. If emotional labor is not reciprocated within 14 days, the claimant may request a partial refund in the form of one sincere apology and a coffee coupon. Real hot take. We let people off the hook because it's easier than asking for what we need. Also, coffee helps. Hot take time. People ignore red flags because vulnerability is exhausting and conflict is scarier than being mildly tormented. We prioritize comfort over clarity until comfort becomes resentment.
That's on us and on the cultural nonsense that sells ambiguity as playing it cool. I am officially declaring cool is overrated. You can be warm and direct and also messy. That is allowed. It's allowed.
Mini rant. Boundary setting isn't mean. Boundaries are the polite, slightly annoyed signs we put up so our emotional landscapers know where they can mow. Saying I need more clarity is not dramatic. It's efficiency. Learning to say no to breadcrumbing is like finally deleting the apps that send you false hope at 3 a.m. Slightly painful, but immediately freeing.
Recap, group chat style, receipts in rapid fire. 1. No midnight breadcrumbing. 2. Request your feelings RSVP. 3. Charge for emotional labor, or at least demand acknowledgement. 4. If they add a dog and stop texting you back, it's an auto breakup. 5. If all else fails, draft a contract and sign dramatically. These are not solutions, they're survival tactics.
If you liked this and want to help me fund my very serious idea of turning emotional chaos into legally questionable documents, leave a review, tell me your worst breadcrumb story, or imagine your own clause and drop it in the reviews. The best clause wins imaginary legal counsel and eternal mockery. Also, subscribe so you don't miss next week's mess.
If today's episode made you laugh, question humanity, or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done. Stay chaotic. And by that I mean, be messy, but honest. Sign here. This escalated quickly. If today's episode made you laugh, question humanity, or feel slightly better about your own life choices, then my job here is officially done.